Raw,
Hey, welcome
unedited.
to
Unedited.
Mm-hmm.
Rowan and Unedited. What's up, gents? How you guys doing?
What's Gucci?
Hey, we're good. We're good.
I
We're
know,
good. We're
easy,
good. We're
easy,
good.
easy, easy. I'm well, man. I'm just 9 to 5 shandies. But of course, this
Hey.
is my therapy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
yeah,
man,
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
it's a little scary.
I know, gents.
Like you weren't
Yeah.
Go
counting
to
down the
actual
days
therapy.
today.
Yeah, ac-
Yeah,
go to actual therapy, Tolani. Please.
Nah, we good.
I don't.
Stay here, X.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. And yeah, let's hop into this, guys. I mean, over the weekend, both our teams dropped points. You know,
I don't
um,
know about dropped. We
I
didn't
don't know.
even.
I don't
We
know
got
if
no
we
points.
drop point.
we
We
dropped
got no
points,
points.
guys. Come
I
on.
mean, they, when City played Norwich, did Norwich drop points?
No,
No,
Yeah, they
dog.
dropped three
you.
valuable points, dog.
No,
Come on,
they were
come
not
on, dog.
budgeting on those points at all.
That's it.
Those points never belonged to us, dog. Those were just imaginary
It's,
points that we had agreed to transfer to Chelsea. That's what it was.
Hey,
this
guys.
man said drop points. Like we even like
Yeah.
we even like we even threatened Mendy. Bro, I don't know what you're talking about, my brother. I don't know what you're talking
You
Bruh.
guys
about.
did. I mean, Saka had an opportunity, that long range effort. That was going in, and Mendy had to,
First of all,
Saka
I
had
don't
a,
want
had
to
a dope shot. It took a deflection,
I
yeah,
don't
but
want to
.
I don't want to talk
yeah,
about Saka because if I speak,
yeah.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
Speak,
If I
dog. This is a
speak,
safe haven today.
if I
Now
Get
speak,
get
we
get
we don't
get
we
what's
don't
on your
slander
chest
dark
out.
skinned black boys on this channel.
man, but he literally let Reece James walk through all the time.
Hey,
Kieran Tierney was starving. I saw an analysis where it said that Kieran Tierney was basically trying to cover the fact that Lukaku was going to bully Murray, and then
Mm.
he looks left shoulder. He's like, almost, it's a fire.
Reece, dog, he sees
Reece,
Reece James, 6'1", 95
yeah.
kilograms, running at 30 k's per hour, and he's like,
and he's like, "Come on, bro!" Like, and for me,
Hey,
what was so like, Saka was jogging. I saw for the Reece James goal, it's like he let him score. He looked at him. He's like, "Ah,
he was
the guy,
galloping, dog. It wasn't even jogging. It was just
yeah,
like,
bro, man." It was
yeah.
like
Hey,
Saka
man.
had one of his worst games I've ever seen in an Arsenal shirt. I think he's still traumatized by the semi-finals because
Oh.
I've never seen him. Yeah, I've never seen him play that way. Like it's like he didn't even want to,
yeah,
and that's very
All right.
strange. And that's very strange for Saka. Like because we were playing a 4-4-3-3, but
Yeah.
like Arteta was not responsive to the fact that they were overloading like our
the
stronger
right
side.
side or
You know what I'm
our left
saying?
side, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
which is our
yeah,
stronger
yeah.
side. And
Mm, mm.
like Thomas Tuchel saw that and he's like, okay, these guys tend to dominate games on the left side.
On the left, that's
What
literally
best
our.
thing to
Yeah.
do? Yes. So
Mm,
next thing, our left side was forced to come back, and
Mhm.
yo, man, it was yeah, like Chelsea should have gotten like about 3 or 4, bro.
yep,
Three or
Yeah.
four.
yep.
That's true.
Lukaku
That's
was
true.
enjoying that side, dog.
Ah,
And thing is, it's
the
like
Yo.
time of his life,
we
bro.
how many games, how much footage does Lukaku need to put on YouTube to tell a manager that this is what I am going to do? Like I don't know how
Yeah.
much, dog. I don't know how much more footage YouTube can even store in their servers. Like Lukaku has put so many hours on the internet of being like, this is what I do. And I get it,
Yeah.
dog. Knowing what someone is going to do and trying to actually stop them from doing that is something completely different. Iron
Yeah.
Robin, we know the story, a million
Yeah.
goals, legend, right? But what you
Yeah.
do is you only give him one good look at the top corner of the goal. You don't give him four or five in a game. Like, he's gonna score, fine. You score, dog.
Yeah.
No one can stop you. But two niggas came at you every single time you tried to score. Lukaku got Murray like every single chance he got. And the moment Holding stepped up to him, he dispossessed him. I was like, okay, there we go. Ah, we lost this
Yeah.
nigga, but it's cool.
Yeah.
I
It's
was
fine.
like, alright, nigga, progress, vision, adjustability, something. Holding steps up, and in the second half, no less, X. In the second half, Holding steps up onto him instead of him back his way into Murray. Holding steps in and says, "Nah, dog, enough." I'm just like, why is it? How is it taking this long for this shit to go down? And then on the side, you can see that there's no action in front of you. On the touchline, it was our right hand side where the managers sit. Nothing is happening,
Yeah.
dog. Nothing, nothing, nothing. It's all fire and brimstone on the left hand side there. And what does
Yeah.
Arteta do? He just stands there and then he sits back down. And then he stands up and then he sits back. Not once does he tell all that energy he has for Nicola Pepe. All that energy. Where was it for Saka? Because that's the shit
I-
that he was getting accused of all the time. Pepe doesn't want to track back. He doesn't help. He's not a team player. And don't. Where was all that
Yeah.
energy, dog? Because Saka was chilling there at the halfway line while Reece James is getting his sprints off. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how Arteta let that shit slide. What's up?
Hmm.
Like, he didn't once say, okay, Xhaka, tell this nigga to run. Xhaka also is just letting Saka off the hook. Emil Smith Rowe
Thank
is now tracking back into a position he shouldn't even be in. And it's just like,
you.
dog, I don't understand. I've seen so many people say that they don't understand the tactics of the club. Nah. Like, there's no vision. No one actually does what Arteta's trying to do, because we now have the quote unquote unending donut of despair, where the ball just goes around across the goal and then it comes back to Pepe. Shout out, I think it was Alex Stewart who said that. But anyway, or
Yeah.
JJ Bull, can't remember. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was JJ. But never mind. I don't know what our tactics are. I don't know what our club is, dog. And I think that's just for me. Last year, I had completely like divorced myself from the club. I didn't give a shit. Like, and I saw all this happening. I said, you know what? It's a new year, start again. Maybe take them back.
Yeah.
I don't get the tactics of Arteta. I don't get the hierarchy of players in the club, because our captain is fucking Aubameyang, who's going to parties with Lacazette and catching COVID. Like, our vice captain is Shaga, who the club just tried to sell, 2 weeks ago, and now they're like, I guess we might as well secure his value and offer him another contract. Like, I
Yeah.
don't get the board. I don't get why after like a month they decided to make Arteta a manager, and whatever Edu is doing, no one fucking knows, because we can't sell
Yeah.
players. We can't bring the players we actually want. We're overpaying for
Mhm.
players. I don't know what this club is, dog. Even at their worst, Chelsea at the very worst are always going to be a well-run club. They might finish seventh, you know, but that's because the manager has fallen out with the board, or he's fallen out with the players. But even then, that seventh place Chelsea still has Eden Hazard in his prime, still has Andre Schürrle or whoever you want, dog, at their
Yeah.
prime.
Sure. Like,
Pick
yeah.
someone. United,
Yeah.
same story. United obviously is just too big to fail. There's nothing we can compare to United. There's just nothing.
Ah, man.
You guys, you
Man.
guys could have, Rulani as your coach. Come on, you could have Rulani, and you could still get Dybala. Like that's the situation you're in. We're not the same, dog. Like that's why you can't even like when people are like, "Oh no, City is the richest in the country." No, dog. United are because United have the United name. City can buy whoever they want, and United can just tell a bank, "We'll pay you, don't worry," and then they can also just pay buy whoever they want. But Arsenal, dog, is literally just fallen off a cliff, and angazi nje ukuthi kuyenzakalani. Basitshela ngama future plans. I don't know what this long
Yeah,
term plan is, because
yeah,
I see the transfers. Nah, everyone is
yeah,
under 21 or under 23. I mean, right?
yeah,
Which is great. Arsenal Villa, we've always loved young blood. But at what point do you say, okay, we bought the same, and I'm going to use Chelsea as an example. You buy Kai
yeah,
Havertz, who's like 20. You buy Timo Werner, who's like 23. You have
yeah,
Mason Mount. You buy Ziyech, who was 26 at the time. You're like, all right, that's a nigga who has Champions League experience. You bring in all these young kids. You bring in James and everyone. But what Tuchel did, which I don't know how Lampard got away with, was bringing Azpilicueta back into the starting lineup because that is your captain. That is a leader. That's someone who can bring experience to the team with the right personality. And then you say, okay, we won Champions League, but our league performances are missing one thing. Who's that? Big Rom, a brand new man, a, a
hey,
beautiful black man who's found his purpose, who has
yeah,
self acceptance. Like he's a father. He's just realized his true best form. An old nigger as well, who is 28 at the peak of his powers, and then you say,
yeah,
boom, done. Arsenal
yeah,
only want to bring in 23-year-olds, knowing that their 31-year-old captain Aubameyang is a Yahoo boy at the club. Like Lacazette is just a pretty face and wants to laugh and joke with Aubameyang. So who is what is our captaincy? What
yeah.
is I don't get it.
Ish, dog. Ah, no, I'm so sorry, Barry, bro. Like, you went on a rant for like more than 10 minutes, bro. But it's okay. We in therapy, my G. Like I say, it's okay. We in therapy. I have my notebook. I'm
Let me
writing
sip my
down
tea, man, and
everything,
calm down.
drawing my pictures. I drew a soccer ball.
Yeah.
No, but I know, but bro, I understand. Like you mentioned, okay, Chelsea, dude. I envy Chelsea spectators, bro, because like that team is well run, bro. Like,
Bruh,
like
the best
the
in the league.
owner, exactly, the owner really gives a fuck about what's going on in the club. Whereas, okay, my team, because of the brand, Man United, we
Mm,
still are able to attract players, especially British players, because of the name, because of yeah, it's pretty much the brand itself. I mean, when you sign for United, your Twitter following, bro, you're gonna get millions of followers just by signing for United, bro. Like instantly, you become well renowned, especially if you are dope at what you do.
mm.
Your brand in jail will also expand. And it's just for me, it's the on the field thing. Even with Arsenal, bro. Arsenal is a big club, Barry. It's just that on the field, y'all on you don't you just like us. You're not moving like a big club on the field. Tactically, there aren't any tactics. It's go out there and have fun, pretty much. That's what they used to tell
I
us in
wish it
primary
was
school,
that,
dog.
X. I
Yeah,
honestly
because
wish
niggas
it
aren't
was
even
go out
having
there and have
fun.
fun. Dog.
Yeah, dog.
I'm
Niggas aren't
telling
even
you,
having
X,
Yeah.
I know I
fun.
said this last time. Watch Lokonga over these
Yeah,
next couple weeks, dog. That first game he was dribbling niggas like he had the freedom he had in Belgium. Even against Chelsea, he was running through
yeah,
Kovacic and Jorginho. Watch, dog. It's going to
yeah.
dissipate. Watch. We're not gonna see the same nigga.
Hey,
I wish it was go out there and have fun.
yo, that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's
that.
go.
Yeah,
I,
too bad.
and I think for me, what's been worse is um. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still here. You still here, bro. We hear you. I
No.
see it.
Now you
It's
here, nigga.
Wi-Fi.
Speak.
Speak, bruh. As long as we
Oh
can hear
no.
you, bruh.
No.
Calling to
This the
me.
shit they. That's the
Say
shit they
something,
dis.
bro.
They dis. SA Twitter on in America.
Yeah. What did they say, bruh? They say our
We all
Wi-Fi is
using.
goofy.
We all at the internet cafe sharing the same
Oh.
computer.
Oh.
Hey, man.
We can hear you,
Man. I wonder
dog.
what.
Huh?
Yeah, but hey, man,
Now,
his Wi-Fi is not that great today. But hey, we'll just continue, bruh, and talk, bruh. You see, like even with me, my team, we drew against
mm,
Southampton, bruh. Like, my issue, cool with United is that we on the break FC. We only
yeah,
score goals on the
yeah,
break. And
yeah.
for me, I always told James, especially at work, that it's it won't work in the long run playing on
Mm,
the break because there's teams like your Brightons of this world, there's teams like Burnley, who sit back and set up shop, and that's where tactics need to apply. I
mm,
was watching who's this Norwich's manager. They when they interviewed him after the game, they were like to him, yeah, like how do you feel about getting slapped 5-0? He's like,
yeah.
I have no issue conceding 5 goals, but I have an issue if I'm gonna concede 4 goals in the same manner. And that just shows
Mm,
you Man City have a structure. They create an overlap, pass it
yeah,
in,
yeah.
goal. Even Grealish, bro. Grealish, the ball, like it hit him. He wasn't even aware of
Mm,
of anything. He just knew that the ball is gonna come in that way. And if I position
yeah.
myself here, chances are it's gonna go in. And that's just it. Just shows you that City have a structure and a way of doing things. Whereas our clubs, bro, right now it's just vibes, bro. With us, it's worse, bro. We've got quality players, Barry, bro. On paper, we have quality. Like if we were
Arguably,
playing FIFA,
arguably
if
like
we were
the
playing,
second best.
yeah, true, true.
Who's the
Like if we were
best?
playing FIFA and you
Man
chose United,
City.
let okay, yeah, okay. Tube is the one that chose us in FIFA, like as a squad. Like if Tube was using United, he'd be slapping us silly, bro,
Oh,
with Man
we'd be
United.
food, dog. I
Like
mean, we are
would be,
ready, but like, we'd be food.
yeah. Like Tuba, would you complain if, let's say, randomly, like let's say we put up like all the best teams in Europe and United is a team that you select on FIFA? Would you complain?
Who's my centre forward?
Hey, bro,
Whoever's in United, bruh, you get to pick.
yeah, Cavani, bro. Let's say it's Cavani because
You have Cavani, Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, who you want, nigga.
dude,
Just the point
Not
is
not
the
not Greenwood on FIFA. In real life,
hey,
yes.
yeah, okay, yeah, but I'm just saying though, like
even
from a
No,
better,
talent,
no,
but
no, yeah.
yeah, to your
Yeah,
point,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
that. I get what you
yeah,
guys are
like
saying.
yeah,
It's actually it's very sad what's going on at United because,
bro.
there was an interview with Gary Neville and who's that, Bruce? Jamie Redknapp. Jamie Carragher, sorry.
Carragher, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Carragher, the one,
and there
yeah.
was and they were speaking about for United what is the best result in terms of the league
Mm,
table. And then Carragher was like, you guys have bought in $50 million Varane, you bought in Sancho, but it
mm,
doesn't even seem like you guys are progressing in the manner on the field. And they were basically speaking about, so Neville was like, we've tried great coaches. We did Mourinho, we didn't win.
mm.
We did
Actually, they
Van
did.
Gaal.
They won 3 titles with Mourinho.
Thank you, Barry.
Not
Thank
one,
No,
you, bruh.
not two, 3.
But
I get it,
three,
but
G.
they're speaking about the league, guys.
The
I get
league,
it
yeah,
because
I know, I
that's
know.
ultimately, yeah, that's that's
That
how
is the
you're
goal.
judged. Yeah,
Yeah.
like on
Yeah,
any level, United used to Bellingham. win many league
Yeah,
titles. And they were speaking about trusting the process. And I'm like, I don't like this thing of trusting the process because I feel like it gives room to so much kak. A brood can get away with basically murder because you got to trust the process. Like I was saying before, my internet did its thing. Arteta was speaking about how we have a young squad, how the team we fielded was one of the youngest in the league, all of those things. And my question is, whose fault is that? No one said buy young players, and I'm not saying he's wrong for that, but and now he's making up excuses for the squad that he has had two transfers to build. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a very tricky thing. But my question always is right. So let's say United were to get rid of Ole 2 months from now. Who comes in?
hey, bruh. Okay, on my end, I,
Conte.
Conte. My problem is with Conte. He's a great manager, proven.
Mm,
I mean, to win trophies in Italy and in England, bro. Like it just shows you, bruh. And as well, the manner in which he won last season, bruh. He took Inter from the ground, bruh, and rebuilt Inter Milan and just proved his quality as a manager.
yeah.
Issue with Conte, bruh, is that he likes falling out with players, bruh. He tends to be, like ish man, from a man management standpoint. Yeah, now from a tactical standpoint, yes, Nyamvuma, he's proven. I mean, remember when Chelsea had Conte? Costa was firing on all cylinders, bro. Tube was winning FPL with Costa alone. Remember, bruh?
Hey,
He
hey,
was cleaning gap. Yeah, you remember Costa? He used to always in the group chat, Costa. He had Costa
hey.
firing. Whereas, like I think if Conte would pull through as an interim, not as a long term, definitely, bro, I have I know he'd bring out the best out of our players, bro. He'd come with a
I think
system defensively, will be solid. We'll be a team that is on lock. It'll be
You
very
should be
difficult to take us
already.
down.
Like, you should be already. You guys have a you have a really
good
good defensive line, dog. You guys have like
Yeah,
four now, like six of like the best 15 defenders in the whole league.
yeah. Look, but Barry, bro, it's like giving X the ingredients to cook lasagna. I don't know how to fucking I don't know how to fucking cook lasagna, bro.
That is a
Even if you
brilliant
gave me
analogy.
all, yeah, even if you give me all the ingredients to prepare that meal, I don't know how to cook it, my G.
like nice,
So
done.
that's pretty
Try to
much
fuck on.
that's pretty much Man United, dog. We've got the ingredients, dog. All of them. We got the cheese, we got the macaroni, we got the
Mm.
mince, we got everything, dog. We got the pan, stove, gas stove, even if there's load shedding still, my nigga.
Like the gas.
Nigga said we got the
Yeah,
in
but
case
better.
of emergency as well.
Yeah, you see, like
We
everything,
good
like
for a rainy day.
yeah, dog. But man, the cook ain't fit to prepare the meal, and that's how I
He
feel
ain't
about
Michelin
United,
star.
dog. Like, yeah, my G. So that's how I feel with United, bruh. That's part of the reasons why our fans are happy that Ole signed that 3-year deal because they know that the guy can't bring out the best in our players, you know. And I'm not just saying Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba. It needs to be everyone, dog. Everyone needs to. At the end of the day, this is a team sport, bruh. Everyone needs to come
Mm.
into the game, not just one or two guys, because if you stifle Paul and Bruno,
That's
You've
United.
come
stopped
on, bro.
United.
You see what I'm
There was
saying?
a
And then even with
there was
Sancho,
yeah
or can I just mention even
yeah
with
yeah yeah
Sancho,
yeah.
like Sancho is a player who likes playing these quick 1-2s. How is he gonna play 1-2s with one Basaka, dog?
Ah
You
X
see what I'm saying?
Colin.
No,
Colin, you
ah
got
I'm
X
just saying. That's what happened at
one
ah
Southampton
person.
when he came on.
What, but
One thing,
X, this is what you have the midfielders for. Okay, but
Well,
I was gonna say the problem is you don't, but
no,
also yeah,
first of all,
yeah.
I don't know how Fred is stealing a living,
dog. These niggas
but
are
he
like
is.
Guys,
spending money in. You see our donut of despair in the box. That's how United spread the wealth in the team, dog. They're
They're
like the
like, nah,
defenders. 70 million, 50
yeah,
million.
yeah,
Out wide,
yeah,
70 million, 100 million. In the middle, don't worry
and
yeah,
about
they're
it.
like, nah, don't worry about that. Like
So,
for me, what's so wild, man, is Donny is literally being benched, and it's making no sense now. It's making no
it's not.
sense. It's
It's
making no
not,
sense.
bro.
You know,
It
like
really
how do you
isn't.
bring a player who was so integral to AX Champions League run? You look at Frankie De Jong, how well he's doing
mm,
at Barca. Who's
delight.
Delicht, yeah,
Mm.
Delicht,
Yeah.
Dalai Delicht, yamazi
Angmazi.
ngama-Afrikaans amabhunu.
Hey.
Um, played well.
mm,
Hakim Ziyech, like
mm.
these
Yeah.
guys have proven to have done well, and you're looking at and for me what's so wild is that he looked at his team and he's like, okay, we don't have McSauce, let me play Village. I mean, not
Matic.
Vidic,
Matic.
Matic. I
Matic,
Matic.
was
yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, dog. I think like Donny is like, it's like it's a pride thing right now because I saw that his agent was like, yo, Donna, people want you, and he's like, nah, I want to prove my worth at United. I'm like, brother, it's not worth it.
It's and you're
Yeah.
never going to win, dog. You are never
That's the
going to
You're
win
never.
thing,
that thing. Cause I
dog.
saw X. I don't know if you saw it. There was this woman on Twitter who made this thread, basically
Oh, I
like
saw that.
explaining like graphic for graphic, bar for bar, like something that we all obviously know that like United doesn't have a midfield, and it's literally the biggest problem. I don't know why Gary Neville is talking about get Kane when you guys have goals, but
Yeah.
he just has a hard on for
Yeah.
Kane, and he obviously wants him at his
Yeah.
club. But that's besides the point. But so she's
Yeah.
basically just saying how, and it's what you said in the beginning, when you were like, United is a on the break kind of club. Like how you guys score
Yeah.
goals is you get the ball to the forwards as fast as possible. Like
Makic.
there's no, yeah, there's no da 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 with Gundogan and or like with Liverpool where you go, midfielder fullback or CB fullback.
Yeah.
No, get the ball
Yeah.
out wide, or up the field. I mean, and she
Do
was
some
basically,
tricks.
yeah. She showed like
Yeah.
all your guys' passes, like the most of your guys' passes went De Gea, Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, and it was literally like a semicircle the whole time. Because why? Because Fred and Scott cannot pass. There is just a disconnect, and if Pogba is not going to do what he did in the opening game, where he's going to come basically to your own box, fetch the ball, and say "Asambe Machita." There's nothing that you guys just won't score, and it's literally what you said of just like if you shut down Bruno and Pogba, they, I love Greenwood, dog. I love Greenwood. I honestly put him. He's there next to Mount for me. Like, and in terms of the British kids, he's up there at the top. But he needs the ball. He's a forward, dog. He's not gonna
Yeah.
come and play around, He's not Messi, he's not Lukaku even who wants to come and drop, collect the ball and then chase down the centre backs. No, give Greenwood the ball in the box. Ka. That's it. That's the only place you could give it to
Oh,
him, and you have a goal. Nah. And
yeah.
like that's how she basically pointed out how you guys can be stifled with literally just two players, dog. Like just if you
Listen
take
to
away
that, bro.
Bruno and Pogba, Fred doesn't have enough. Like McTominay doesn't have enough. Matic will never have enough.
Mhm.
And I don't know how you don't bring on Donny in that point. Because Madrid were this close to buying him, dog. Were this close the
Yeah.
season before. And now Ole's just like, now I don't need him.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah. You
crazy.
see what I'm saying?
I just looked at the Arsenal team sheet um, tonight.
Who are we playing
Um,
tonight?
Huddersfield,
Oh
the
yeah, that
Carab
game.
Carabao,
And
Karakiriki
Yeah,
Cow.
yeah.
First of
it's
all,
early. You
I
guys
don't
are
know if
playing Carabao so early.
The energy drink. How the mighty have fallen, X.
you,
I'm sorry.
uh, and it's wild that I'm kind of I don't know if people saw that Arteta has 5 games to switch it around, and I'm like,
who's
oof.
who's even
Not good.
playing? Aubameyang should be
Um,
starting.
he is starting.
Okay.
Saka's starting. Pepe's starting. Odegaard, Shaka Alneni,
Ah,
Kolasinac, Kolasinac. A
we're literally
person
about
who
to sell him.
to sell him. Yeah, I know. Um,
This is
Holding
last game.
Chambers
Wow.
Yeah.
and Taravaz. And I'm kind of like,
Tavares.
Tavares, yeah, man, I don't know why he's starting at right back because he's a left back.
Nigga.
Um, and yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. Oh, and
Hey.
our expensive second keeper.
Second string. Who cost more than our previous second string.
Nah,
Who
Saru.
is now a
Ramsdale.
starting caliber goalkeeper we sold for less. But yes.
Yeah, no. So yeah, that's
Oh,
See,
pretty
that's the
much.
shit X that I'm talking about. Where
mm.
Chelsea can sell, Tammy for 40 million euros.
Imagine.
They can sell Mark Gay to Crystal Palace for what was it, 18 million. Name them, dog. Tamori, Zappacosta, Moses.
And
That's
so
100
because they went
million,
for
dog.
not because they went for 15 million. I'm like, this man hasn't smelt a team sheet in 2 years.
Neg,
I'm like,
they
no
Hey.
way.
100 million X. That's 100 million, and
Yeah.
West Ham are about to spend 30 on Zuma. We couldn't even get
Sure.
Roma to take Shaka for 13. Who is running this club, dog? Who is sitting at the
Yeah.
table saying this is like you can't even sell like I now
Nah.
Hey.
Torreira's gone to Fiorentina on loan with an obligation to buy. I bet you that obligation to buy won't be probably enforced in the contract. We're gonna be stuck with him again next year, and we're just gonna be like, oh, but no one wants him. Chelsea just fucking sold 5 players for 100 million, and they just spent 100 million on Lukaku. That's clean, dog. That's a net right there.
Yeah.
Balance.
Net spend.
Balance.
Yeah.
They're
Net
about
spend.
they're about to earn money once Zuma's gone. Their net spend is gonna be
Yeah.
minus.
I don't know how
Yeah.
Chelsea is selling players during this time, bro. Like, because everyone's like, we can't sell players. Chelsea are like, oh, say less. And
They're like sounds
like,
like a personal
Really.
problem.
yeah, like, and for me, I think it goes to show how Chelsea are still able to win like the league after every like 4 or 5 years. Like the way that club is run,
Mm.
like listen, man. Sometimes you don't need a manager there for 5 years to win
Yep.
anything.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
people are trying to get this whole Arsene Wenger, so Alex Ipelile Leon.
It
Ipelile.
dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
We're
That's
no more in
true.
those times where managers are you're a manager for 10 years.
Mm.
It's done now. Football is
Yeah.
not like that. If you're unable to adapt to it, like it's very rare. Like people who can stay at a club for 10 years, it's like people like Pep, like a club, you know, it's
And
not.
that's it.
Yeah, I can't even
That's
think of
it, bro.
anyone else. I can't even think of
Yeah.
anyone else, bro.
And
Like
what's his
it's
name at Atletico?
oh
Oh,
yes, Diego
Simeone.
Simeone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
like also because Simeone is earning, he's the highest paid manager, so he has to stay. They're like, hey, dog.
Yeah. I
Like,
Also, he
know.
built that
He's
club in
good,
his
man.
image, and it works. So
yeah,
you
you know what
know.
I'm saying.
And
So,
it
so like
works, bro.
so
Yeah.
those type of things, and it's for me, it's I think that's the biggest issue that Arsenal and United are facing. They're like, how can we get another Arsene Wenger? How can we get another so Alex Ferguson? And people are always criticizing him on some no, this thing of changing managers quickly is ruining the club. Ruin it. I don't care. Villain
I choose
Rude.
violence, dog.
Yeah.
ruined. Because this thing of allowing managers to get away with so many things and backing them in hopes that things are gonna turn around, bro. I see a movie. It's not Ted Lasso, bro, where things happen in a vacuum. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like for me, like I sometimes look at Arteta and I I pity him, you know, because on any level you wanted to work out. Maybe that's just me. I think it was in the beginning because I was like, I just wanted to work out for the pro, mainly because
mm,
I wanted to work out for my team. Now,
yeah,
but now I look at him
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're a villain. You're an absolute villain. That's all it is. Because now you're just being punished for every decision that, and Arsenal are gonna suffer for years. Because
yeah.
I saw Conte.
That's
Conte
true.
was like, I looked at this team. Is like, I don't think I can win with this team, and I understand that. And I understand that. I look at this team. I'm like, man, I can't even get top four with this team. I can't
Yeah.
even
I
get top
can't
four.
get
Like,
jiggy to this.
I can't get jiggy. This nigga like, now you guys want me to struggle. I don't want to struggle. I'm on vacation. I just come from winning the league. Now you want me to grovel.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Arsenal's team is like the worst. You know what I'm
it's
saying? Like,
not.
Mm.
like
It's the-
starting 11, we can hold
Dope.
our own against
I
them.
think it's dope.
Yeah, right. But
yeah.
then when you have a coach who has two number 10s and wants to play them both, you know, there's going to be a disconnect on all fronts, you know. And I think
Yeah.
right now, um, I saw the image of Arteta, and I'm like, that's going to be us for a very long time.
Dog.
That's going to be us for
There's
a very long
there's
time.
there's a beautiful like 2 minute section of David Ornstein talking on the Athletic podcast, and he literally breaks down the difference between Arsenal's board and like everyone else in the top six, right? So like Liverpool, Chelsea, City, Spurs, everyone, you know. And the
Yeah.
condensed version is literally just like the disintegration of accountability at the top, where when Wenger was there, you know, it was obviously Wenger was the manager. Everyone knows that, like, oh, Wenger ran the show, right? But we had Wenger, we had Gazidis, we had all remember when Arsenal was just like firing gang
Yeah.
employees, all of those scouts, all of those advisors, all of those voices in the office discussing football. We got rid of all those niggas when we made what's his name, Sanlehi, the director of football. Because why? They said they want to remove the that sort of old regime. It was like culling of the Wenger era. They don't want any of that. And then, you know, with 2 years max, I think it was. Now we ended up here where Edu makes all the football decisions, and he only speaks to Arteta, and then obviously we have our CEO, Venkatesham. Like that's it, X. That's literally it. There's three niggas running a internationally recognized football club. I think it's like the fifth biggest club in the world. Three niggas. Every other club has like a giant room full of them. We have three. So,
Yeah.
like Tube says, we're gonna be here for a
Ish,
while.
man.
Yeah, and for me, it was so wild. We literally got rid of that scout we got from Dortmund. That amazing
Mm.
scout who scouted
Miss Lintat.
Royce, Aubameyang, like Gundogan, and he
Mm.
was scouting dope niggas for us, and they were like, "Nah, Tana, I suck deep." I was like,
No, Eddie was like, nah, I know a guy in Brazil. That's what we said.
I was like, guys, this guy's he's literally good at
Three.
his job. And then they were like, nah, dog, we don't
Yeah.
need you. You see, when I saw that happen, I was like, nah, these, you know, it's like us three running Arsenal, And I'm like, Dana, I'm the coach. Ah, they tell me.
Mm.
Sabani's like, Dana, I know some scouts, I know some dudes from Etema, Soweto. And, and then X is the guy who we report to. That's literally
Mm.
what's happening at
X
Arsenal.
talks to Adidas and Emirates
Yeah, yeah,
and
he's
brings
like,
the
guys,
money in.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna speak to Josh
Yeah.
quick fast, and
Mm.
see. Like I saw Josh was at the thingy of Ramsdale. Like that makes the signing any better. Like Josh Kroenke pictured with.
Flew in.
Yeah, I was like,
All you're doing
he's
is
the coach.
polluting the air, nigga. Like, stay in America.
Stay in America, dog. Like you're ruining it. You're ruining it. And I don't know how true it is. I saw some uh, Muslim brur whose family has like about 358 billion trying to like buy Arsenal, and he said in his tweet,
Oh, I
only
saw
time will
that.
tell. Yeah. So I'm hoping that can happen because that would be dope. A
Forget
part of me
about it.
was forget about it. Obviously, a part of me really wanted the Spotify owner to buy Arsenal and he
Mm.
said, bro, I care. That's all I
Mm.
want, bro. That's all I want. I just want people who care about my club, bro. That's all I want. And Edu is
Yeah.
on the phone during a braai, and people are like, he's making transfers. No, he's not. He's getting more meat. He's calling the host. He's not making
Uh,
transfers, bro. I'm
you know
like,
what's funny, dog? Cause like Angiti X, you know this as well, having an American owners. Like everyone badmouths the whole American
Yeah.
owners thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, for years, like the Premier League has known that Americans are trying to
Yeah.
infiltrate European football, and the difference between everyone else's club and Liverpool and Arsenal is that Liverpool and Arsenal's American owners don't run their franchises the way every other single American owner runs their club. Like American owners buy their franchise to win shit and make themselves more famous and then rich. Ours buy franchises to make themselves rich, and then if it happens to coincide with winning, that's also nice too. But
Yeah.
hopefully, I don't get famous. Like, that's how Liverpool
Yeah.
and Arsenal owners operate. Abafuni, dog. And it's so weird when I think of the Cronkies, because for years, obviously, like that nigga was bleeding the Rams dry. Nah, he was bleeding the Nuggets dry. They couldn't even make it to the second round of the playoffs. And then something happened in his mind where he said, "Actually, I think I'd like to win." And then they started winning. But for some reason, Arsenal Football Club must still be the financier for all the spending at the LA Rams. And they have shit like luxury tax and all this random shit that we don't even have. And now Arsenal must foot the bill. And I'm just like, how did we get stuck with the one American who doesn't actually just have an ego enough to want to win it all? Like,
is
I
that
don't
stuck?
get it though. I think he is. How do we lose the host?
That's crazy. I mean, we're always losing each other. I was on for like the first 15. I was like, oh man, I'm starving. And he's
Hey,
actually at
today's our
Manchester.
pod now, Nick.
You know the vibes.
East always gonna take
Springs.
over.
I literally said the same thing. Springs in the cut. You know the vibes. But I think what you're mentioning is actually such a good point. Is how the influence of the owners isn't spoken as much as it should be.
Mm.
Like I look at Dana Chelsea. Ha! The owner is there at games. He's there when he's about to fire a brewer.
Dog,
Every time
remember
he's
when the Queen tried to kick him out of England? He was still there.
yeah, dog. Like, and I was watching. I saw a video that initially Roman Abramovich wanted to buy Tottenham,
Mm.
And then the only reason why he didn't buy Tottenham was because the helipad couldn't come in and
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
Like
it couldn't
you had
land on the
to,
yeah.
yeah, you had to. He was like, "Why am I struggling?" And then as they were flying back
Yeah.
home, he saw Chelsea. He's like, "Why can't I get that club?"
Mm.
He's like, "Oh, that ain't no problem."
Yeah.
And he bought them 5 days after. I'm like, so if Spurs had a
For a
helipad,
pound.
if Spurs had a helipad,
Yeah, be a different story.
a different story. And he's so entrenched in everything that happens in the club. Dog, I keep thinking about whenever he's about to fire a manager, he's there, Stamford Bridge, chilling like
Mm.
this. And if they're losing, he slouches. He's like this. He's like, man, I gotta fire this nigga.
This nigga gotta go.
Our owner, our
Dude.
owner is bringing his son, bro. Like I don't care about his son. And you know what's so wild for me, man, is and it's I'm always so shocked when I see Arsenal have spent the most this transfer season. I'm
Mm.
like, I
And it's not the first time.
ah, I wait, when was the other time?
I think it was like I think it was 3 years ago or 4 years ago. But remember
Under
that season
Unai.
when we bought Torreira and yo, I even forgot who was all in that window. But I think it was the Pepe, Torreira,
Oh
um
yeah, hey Pepe, God.
that window. But that was in England because obviously
Yeah.
Barcelona were doing madness over there in Spain. They were running
Hey.
around like they park. Uh, but there was a season where Arsenal spent the most in the Premier League, and all we have to show for it is a fluke FA Cup.
First of all, I get mad whenever they mention that Arteta won the FA Cup. They're
Yeah,
like,
because Emery won that shit.
yeah, yeah, because he got us to the semi-finals, and then all Arteta had to do was just bank on lockdown, and he had to win 2 games, 2 games, dog.
Behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, Nick.
So every time
Tuchel even
No
said it
fans,
himself
no
with the
spectators.
Champions League.
what did he
Because I
say?
don't know if did you see his interview with Sky?
Mm-mm.
So, they asked him, like, yo, man, like, you came through and you won the Champions League. And he's like, hold on, Bubba. You look like you got a little too much dip on your chip there. And he's like, well, the only way you can win the Champions League is if you make it to the knockout. And Lampard got Chelsea to the knockouts. Like, he literally gives Lampard his full credit. Like, listen, I arrived. Yeah, sure, I won the
Yeah.
last like 2 legs or whatever, but the only reason we're there is because of Lampard, and he deserves that respect.
Yeah.
And no one wants to have the same conversation about Arteta. We sound sour because we say no,
Yeah.
that wasn't really him. Like
Barry,
even Thomas Tuchel.
I have a question for you, Barry.
Yeah.
Would you have wanted Unai Emery to stay if you knew we were getting Arteta?
You know that I didn't want
Hindsight is
Arteta in the beginning. I would have just continued the season and called him a Transylvanian vampire, and I would have been fine if you told me, listen, it's either you keep Unai or you get Arteta. I would have said, "Alright, we're already here. Let's at least finish. Let's at least finish fifth every season, as opposed to finishing eighth every season."
I guess.
So,
Hey.
what would you have chosen?
I really didn't like Unai Emery.
Me
Um,
neither.
I,
Yeah. Yeah. Too you did it.
I,
Yeah. You're vocal.
yeah, oof,
Very vocal.
oof. I keep going back to that image of Freddie Lundberg looking at him at practice, like he does not know what he's doing.
Calm, 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 calm. That was honestly one of the best videos I'd ever seen
Oh
ever.
my god!
Because
That's
to this
just
day, I still don't know if he was saying calm or calm. Like,
um, but like
Yeah.
my biggest thing is that Unai Emery had, I could see what he was trying to do. I remember that goal. I forgot.
yes, yes.
Yes, I think my biggest issue with Unai was the treatment of Ozil, obviously.
Yup. Yep.
That for me like just rubbed me the wrong way
And
because
Pepe for me.
he
Yeah.
kind of felt that he was bigger than the club, right? As you always want to be when you're in a big club, right? Because
Mm,
isicathulo sakho sikhali.
mm.
But there was a disconnect in the way that he approached it for me. I would rather have had Arsenal bring in um, any German manager. I feel like we could have got Thomas Tuchel if we just were just a little patient. If we were just a little patient, we just said tranquilo.
Tranquilo, tranquilo.
We just said tranquilo. Let's just let the brewer run out his thing, and let's bring in Thomas after, and that would have been perfect. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? But I feel like the board was under pressure because Una obviously wasn't performing. He
yeah.
lost. He lost that string of games. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's done now." And then for me, you say no. Let me put in Freddie. You know what I'm saying? Which wasn't a bad choice because
Which is
obviously Una,
fine.
yeah, which is fine. I would have said let him see out the season, man. Let him see out the season.
Let him literally, and you remember those games, dog. What did he do? He went back to the old Arsenal and he played the old team where he
Mm.
had Özil in there. He had Aubameyang at the top. He he literally did. He stuck to basics and he said, "Okay, guys, I'm not gonna try and bamboozle you with my genius. I'm not some wonder kid. I'm not trying to take Pep's seat at the top of the coaching hierarchy. I'm just trying to win games." And that's what he did, dog. Literally, all we do is we keep Freddie till the end of the season, which we do, and then you say, okay, now let's look at the landscape, dog. You have at that time, Nagelsmann has not gone to Dortmund
To
yet,
Biden, yeah. Mm.
let alone Bayern, dog. He hasn't even gone
Actually,
to Dortmund yet. Marco Rosa hasn't left Gladbach yet. So you literally can choose.
Aish.
You can wait for Tuchel to get fired. You can tempt Nagelsmann with Arsenal because he's been tempted for years. You can look to the fucking future and say, "Oh, I see Marco Rose over there is doing something nice at Gladbach. Let's look at him." You can literally look so many places and say they are fresh managers with experience who are not coaches. Okay, they have actual experience managing a team, and you look there and you say, okay, maybe let's do that
yeah.
instead of taking the cone man for Pep.
I really feel Arteta got the job through reference. You know when you're applying for a job and then they call your references and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, Tabani Yashisa. Tabani Yashis. Tabani Yashis. I'm Tam. And then Tabani gets there and they're like, okay, they said Yashisa,
We
Chinese.
heard you good.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, I don't know if you wanted me to be good right now. I, I can learn to be good, you know?
Yeah.
And
They didn't
and
look at the CV.
they didn't look at the CV. They just heard. And you know what? For me, I literally hate Pep every time he speaks about Arteta because he's
Oh.
always like, "No, give him time." I'm like, bro, you are not at this club. You
Mm.
can't be telling people to give
Yeah.
another bro time. Like, I, I can't go to thingy Invest Tech and be like, no, X is bad at his job. Fire him. Then who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we know this guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I think.
Yeah.
And literally, and I just know pre-match interviews. So Pep, how do you feel about Arsenal having lost their first two games? Do you feel like Arteta's under pressure? No, I don't think Arteta's is under pressure. I think the
It
board
takes time. You need
it takes
time,
time.
as you
Dog.
know, as a manager.
And I'm like, bro, no.
But
This
also,
man's
worse with Pep is, that nigga is never, ever, ever, ever gonna tell another manager, good job, when they hold him to 1-0 playing ugly football. But
Yeah.
let Daniel Fark rock up to the Etihad and say, Fok, aslale. And then he catches five. Pep is going to say, I love Daniel Fark. I love Daniel. So much respect. I respect him so much. You know, it's such a incredible organization, incredible players. You know, I have so much respect. But let Sean Dyche pull up to the Etihad and say,
Put up a height.
Chris Wood, you are marking. If I see you in the box, you off. And he marks with 11 players. This is Pep. I don't
Yeah,
understand. You know,
they didn't come
we
here to
come,
play football.
we play football. You
Football.
know, so Yamazi, he's gonna give
Yeah.
Arteta his daps for losing 2-0 to Brentford.
Yeah, he's like, no,
Yeah.
the players are still young. They need to adapt to the Premier League. I'm like, shut up.
Nick,
I'm tired
Foden
of
is
you.
20.
I'm tired of you gassing this brood to stay at our
Yeah.
club so you can win 6 points every single year.
It's
That's
like what we
literally
were
why.
doing with Lampard. We were
Yeah,
like
he was like,
begging Abramovich not to fire him.
because we knew. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's such a wild thing where
Yeah.
a coach is being backed by another coach, like the other coach now has an influence on like I could just imagine if someone's like, no, I think Solskjaer is a bad manager. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
People will be
mm,
like, that's crazy. How could you say that? You know?
mm.
And for me is that I just want Pep to tell us the truth. Ryan Arteta.
In the trading group.
I'm,
Yeah.
I need to know what this
Yeah.
brew is doing because now
Codes,
it
nigga,
because
codes.
it because X like when this guy
Yeah.
X is gone again. X, are you
Nah,
still
it's
there?
here.
No,
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah.
Like when
My wife's
Arteta
back,
was
bro.
sold. Hey, I can see. I was there earlier. It'd be like that. So when
Hey.
Arteta was sold to us, we were sold on his great player management, how he helped Sterling, how he helped
Mm,
who's the Sane,
mm.
integral to them winning the thing. I was like, oh my god, this. Yeah, she's on the out. I get there,
Everyone
and this
fucking helps
man,
Sterling, apparently.
and
Yeah.
and he gets to Arsenal, and he can't play or manage Saliba.
Anyone.
So I'm like, nah.
Hey.
Pepe becomes
Yeah.
worse. Dog, the version of Sane that they got and that he turned into, the version that Sterling they got that he turned into, why is it not happening now? Hmm?
Yeah.
What's the difference here?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Because
Yeah.
I saw Sane at Schalke, I saw Sterling at Liverpool, and we saw how those niggas progress. Also, I feel like a lot was overstated on like how Sterling was improved off of that one video. Remember where Pep is telling him
Oh,
about
yeah,
moving
wait.
into the space.
Yeah, just tapped a ball and then turn
Yeah.
around. I'm like, my brother.
So much is overstated. Sterling scored 15 goals in his first season at Liverpool at like age 12, dog. Come on. He was playing with Luis Suarez starting. He was dope. He cost 50 million. He's gonna be good. Pepe all of a sudden goes from 18 goals to 4. Explain.
Yeah,
Explain.
Yes.
explain to me.
Yeah.
Explain to me.
Explain me.
Explain to me. Man,
Where's all that
I
Sane
know, guys.
Sterling nonsense now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah. Yeah. I know, guys. Hey,
we were
guys.
cooked. Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm just
we
saying
did.
we've like really gone
We
over
definitely
time.
said. We definitely said 20 minutes. But I was
Yeah.
gone for like 50. I was
Yeah.
gone 15. So I had to make sure I had to say what
Yeah.
I had to say.
Yeah. And you did, bro. Guys, like, hey, man, it's like as always, guys. This is an epic episode. I hope you guys beat Man City, guys. Do it for the culture. I hope You guys, even if it's one
Play the
nil, it
lotto
doesn't matter.
X.
Just get,
You'll
just
have a
beat
better
City.
Absolutely.
chance.
Yeah.
Download Bedway, my nigga.
Ah,
They got
no,
a
no,
they
no,
got
no,
a
no.
no
Ah,
data
but
version
guys, I know.
now.
Let's call it a night, Neto.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Host, please sort out
I
your
don't.
Wi-Fi because we're gonna take
Yeah,
over the
man.
podcast very
We
soon.
turn the shit into the East Rand, nigga.
Yeah.
It's
I
French
know, no
house.
worries, James. I know. Take care,
All right.
man.
Ciao,
Hey
thanks.
man,
Sure, James.
peace.
Peace. Yeah, the Wi-Fi,